So, you want to change your Netflix region to get access to all that juicy new content, but you don't know how. Or perhaps you've already got your VPN and it's still just not working quite right. Whatever your reason for landing on this video, 1, thanks very much for clicking, you've made an excellent choice, and 2, I'm not going to waste any more of your time. What is about to follow is 100% pure, uncut expert advice based on our years of testing Netflix alongside VPNs. We're going to show you how to change Netflix libraries, whatever device you're watching on, discuss why you'd actually want to, as well as throw in some insightful little tips and tricks to help you along the way. Intro over, we're Top 10 VPN, you're watching us, I'm Callum, let's get started. If you've somehow ended up here without knowing for certain, a VPN is the best way to change your Netflix region. It's cheap, easy, quick, and can be reliable. Doing so gets you access to content that is available in your chosen region that may not be available in your own. This is because Netflix has to strike deals with individual studios and rights holders when licensing third-party content to make available on its platform. These deals usually only involve specific regions rather than the whole globe. And as a result, a movie or show available in one country might not be available in yours. Accessing all of that is all there is to it, really. There's no other reason that I can think of why you'd want to change your Netflix region. There can be slight variations on how it works depending on the VPN you're using, but ordinarily, all you'll need to do is connect your VPN to a server in a different country and then log into Netflix. Just in case you don't believe me, let's show 2 quick examples with 2 different Netflix regions and 2 different VPNs. First, ExpressVPN. It's actually the VPN I personally use in my own time, whether I'm streaming or torrenting or doing just about anything, and you're about to see why. We're shooting this video in the UK, so let's connect to a server in the United States. I'm not even going to specify which server, I'll just let ExpressVPN choose for me. Now that we're connected, I'll sign into Netflix in my browser on my Mac, and I'm presented with US Netflix content. For example, we'll use Windscribe, a very popular VPN, largely thanks to how well it works with services just like Netflix. This time, let's try Japan. First, we choose the region, wait a second for it to connect, then we log into Netflix again, and we enjoy the results. That's all you have to do, no matter what device you're using. Of course, those examples were via web browser, but it's exactly the same on smartphone or streaming device too. My only advice with your smartphone would be to make sure you fully close the Netflix app and reopen it after you change VPN region. Otherwise, the library might not update. With streaming devices like Amazon Fire TV, you may have to do the same, although it's not always necessary. If you do, don't just back out of the app, make sure you fully stop it from running, reopen it, and then run Netflix. If all you needed was that quick little walkthrough, then great. You've seen what you came for, and the rest of your time is now freed up to watch Netflix. But if you'd care to stick around, I'm going to let you in on 5 expert tips for making sure your VPN works with Netflix and changes region as reliably and consistently as possible. Tip number 1, and this is a big one, just because you are watching Netflix doesn't necessarily mean that your region has changed. What do I mean by this? Yeah, that was quite cryptic, actually. Well, what I mean is that Netflix doesn't always just outright block you when you use a VPN. Remember earlier when I talked about Netflix and international rights agreements? Well, as you probably know, Netflix also makes loads and loads of its own content. That means it doesn't need to make any agreements with rights holders, as it already owns it all. Any content made by Netflix will have the little red N in the corner of its tile when you're browsing. I think there are a couple of exceptions maybe, but essentially every single one of those titles is available in every single region. So if you connect your VPN and then refresh Netflix, and all you see is Netflix original content, that actually means it's not working to change the region. What you want to see is a nice balance of Netflix originals and third-party content with no N on their tiles. Tip 2. There's an easy way to be sure that your region has changed. If you click on the New and Popular tab at the top of the page, you should see headings that say Top 10 shows and Top 10 movies in a country name today. Give it a try without a VPN connected, and that country name will be wherever you actually are for real. Once you connect to your VPN, if it's worked properly, that country name will change to your chosen VPN region. If you combine this little tip with the last one, then you'll know absolutely certain that your VPN is working with Netflix. Tip 3. To save yourself time, if you're using your VPN and watching Netflix on your laptop or desktop, you don't actually need to log out and open a new window every time you want to change region. Instead, when you connect to a different VPN server, just go back to the browser window in Netflix open and do a hard refresh. This differs from just a regular refresh in that it also clears the cache for the specific page that you're on. The way you do this varies from browser to browser. If you're using Chrome on Windows, hold down the Control key and then click refresh. And if you're using Chrome on Mac, hold down the Command key and then click refresh. I'll put shortcuts for other browsers in the description of this video. If you do that, Netflix will reload and hopefully have changed regions too. Tip 4. Don't listen to other websites for Netflix VPN troubleshooting. Yeah, I know how it sounds, but seriously, there's loads of advice out there that is just a waste of your time. For real, working and tested advice, check out our guide instead. There's no snake oil there, no empty promises, and the link is, of course, in the description. Tip 5. Some Netflix libraries are extremely hard to access, but that doesn't mean that you can't watch what you want to watch. Good VPNs invest a huge amount of time and money into making sure that they work with Netflix, but some libraries are obviously a priority over others. Countries like the US, the UK, Germany, France, Japan, they're a lot more commonly unblocked than countries like, say, Mexico or Belgium or Singapore. If you want to watch a title from a more niche country, then the good news is that it's likely also available in other regions too. You just need to know which. Enter unogs.com. This is a website I have recommended many times before, and that the rest of the top 10 VPN team frequently celebrate on our guides. It's got nothing to do with us, we make no money from it, it's just a really good website. UnoGS lists every single title on Netflix around the world and shows you what regions they're available in. Search for what you want to watch and you might be surprised. There's a good chance that it's available in multiple regions. Now you can try all of the ones listed and hopefully at least one will work with your VPN. Congratulations on making it to the end of the video. I have no more advice to give. Watching Netflix with a VPN really is that straightforward. If you're somehow still here instead of off another tab watching Netflix, then thank you so much. Wow, that's really very kind of you. You're obviously a true fan, so please do consider liking and subscribing to support the channel, and keep an eye out for lots of other more useful expert Netflix VPN advice that's going to come in the future. Enjoy yourself. I'll see you then.